Hello everyone, Alteredmaybe here, and today we're gonna do a little Wild Hunt retrospective. What do I mean by that is I want to look at all the endings I received throughout the gameplay, and I want to see how I and you feel about it. Also, I know that 80% of you are still not subscribed, so please don't be shy and subscribe. It really does make me happy. That being said, we will start our countdown with the Bloody Baron. Without further ado, let's get to it, shall we?
Witchers were made to kill monsters. It doesn't matter who posted the notice. The coin has to be right. That's all. Witchers don't debate. Their conscience plays no part. They just get on with it, then pick up the coin pouch tossed at their feet and set off on their way. Folk don't expect witchers to save them from themselves.
So this was the first ending screen I encountered during the game, and so much so that I didn't even understand that it was an ending screen for a character. Throughout the whole gameplay, I expected Bloody Baron to come back and say like, you know what, Anna is healed, we are good, it's amazing, and that didn't happen, obviously. I don't blame them. I think Bloody Baron had way more issues to resolve with Anna than Anna losing her mind. But I really like this little video because everything that Geralt is reading in this video is contradictory. Like, witchers don't care, witchers don't debate, witchers just take the coin and go. Like, no, that's not what we did at all. We did everything in our power to help Bloody Baron. Yes, at times I was very pissed out at him, but I also wanted to know where the hell Anna was. Where was she? What happened? Can we recover her? And I think we definitely did more than a witcher should have been doing. I don't think all of these was about coins, at least not for me. I don't know about Geralt, but definitely not for me. I really wanted to save the Baron from himself. When this ending arrived, I actually also didn't realize that it was the good ending. Because to me it was very open-ended, Anna lost her mind. But yet again, when I learned about the other possible outcomes that could have happened, I'm like, yep, this is the best ending that I could have get. At least the Bloody Baron is alive and Anna is alive. And daughter is alive. I don't know if there's a scenario where she could be dead, but everybody's alive and well, and they're not trying to kill each other, which I call a win at this point. How did I manage to reach this good of an ending is still a mystery to me a bit, because I didn't want to research about what would happen and anything. But if you want to share like what happened to you and why do you think it happened, please write down below. In my case, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I saved the baby's soul. Well, that was a challenge and weird, but we made it. Like, we bring peace to our little baby ghost thingy, which I already forgot its name. And I think the other one is basically killing the Whispering Hillock, I think it was called. Basically the woodland spirit. Yet again, when I was doing it, I was not even aware that it had ties to the ending of this quest, because it was just a random tree root speaking to me, and I did not feel like sparing it because anything that has connection to those witches should die in my book. But apparently that is the right thing to do. I think. I'm still not sure. The only other question I have is actually about the kids those witches chose to eat. Was there a way to save them? Like, was there something that I could have done different to literally reach to the good ending and save those poor children? If you know, let me know. I would like to know. And with that, let's move on to our next character, Ciri the Godling.
Long ago, to isolate themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find.
This was the one that gives me the chills. I know it is weird. Among all the endings, this is the one I chose to get the chills, but this little cut screen literally stabbed me with emotions in the moment I least expected them. I guess it hits so close to home, and that's why I get so emotional, as I am the outsider who traveled long to find a home. I guess we can say I am the Sarah the godling who founded Ciri. We talked a bit with you guys in the comments, and I don't think there is a bad ending for Sarah the godling, or any godling, I think. I think the game is not that cruel, and godlings are too sweet of a creatures to do any harm. I mean, I want to ask if there is any other way, but I'm not sure if I want to know. To be honest, I don't want any harm to godlings. I love them so much. That being said, I love this ending so much because it also adds to the ongoing narrative of the game. I think throughout the game criticizes humans' very weird behavior. And one of them is basically humans shutting everything unfamiliar out, being hostile to anything unfamiliar. Like we see it in Novigrad with the sorceresses first, and then the non-humans. They always look something to hunt, something to push, and it is done under the name of safety, but yet again, these other parties actually did nothing to threaten their safety. It was just humans being afraid of the unknown and couldn't be bothered to know more. So this is just another little example of it, where Sarah was supposed to be the beast that terrorized Corinne, but we let Sarah stay in the home, and Corinne was forgiving enough and compassionate enough to bond with this beast that was supposed to terrorize her, and that brings me so much joy. Like how wouldn't it? It's like one of the positive interactions that's happening in this very cruel and realistic world. And with that, we move to Whoreson Jr.
No one mourned for Whoreson Jr. In all his miserable life, he'd never helped a soul. Amusingly, once dead, he became a useful member of society. They say everyone deserves a second chance. Seems true enough. Whoreson got his, in a way, sharing it with a Doppler named Dudu.
This one was definitely a lovely little plot twist for me. One of the happier side of plot twists, so I appreciate it. The decision to kill Whoreson was kind of an out of place for me, to be honest, because I was not that filled with hatred to Whoreson at that point of the game, because you see me having strong emotions in other cases. Stop hitting me! Die already! No!
Who told you to fight like this?
Exactly! Fucking asshole! Die! No, baby boy. No. This is where you die. Yeah, I mean, when I'm triggered, I am triggered. And in the case of Whoreson, I didn't have that emotional feeling to kill him necessarily. But yet again, Geralt was so triggered that I knew it was the right thing to do. And I'm kind of happy that I did, because look at all the positive outcomes of his death. But one thing that bothers me a lot about this whole sequence is, can you actually make Ciri kill Dudu? If I was to choose that, Ciri was actually going to kill Dudu and we were gonna watch it and we were gonna be okay with it? Has anyone done it? And if so, what did Dudu do to you to deserve it? Like, I'm curious to know if it can actually be done, but I'm also, why? This was definitely an interesting one. But with that, we move on to Keira.
Few can refuse a sorceress, and Keira Metz certainly had her ways. But when she demanded the Mage Alexander's notes, I had to turn her down. Keira needed that as she needed the impetus to start anew. She found it where she least expected to. Years later, known for discovering the cure for the Catriona plague, she was thankful none remembered her time in hiding as a village witch.
This ending surprised me a lot, but not for the reasons you may think. I think Keira and Lambert are meant for each other, they can bicker each other for the rest of eternity, and I hope they live happily ever after, but that's not what I'm surprised about. What surprised me is how the game shifted my emotions about Keira 180 and did it so subtly that I didn't even realize. I hated her in the beginning. I find her annoying. I hated her guts. You can literally see it in my video captions. Like, it was in the title. That's how much I hated her. I didn't want to be around her at all. But in time, somehow, I started to respect her. If she wants something, she gets it. She's a badass. She says the weirdest line in the game.
Greetings, Geralt. If I'm to die today, I wish to look smashing for the occasion.
And I respect that. Like when Triss break down these news, with the sentence starting as like the worst thing that happened in the world, like, oh, of all the people I thought you knew, I had a mini heart attack, because I thought Keira was dead. That mini heart attack made me realize how much I actually care about Keira, and that was a very surprising moment for me. I am genuinely happy that we stopped her from going to Radovid. Like, I actually don't know if there is any other way. Like, if we don't fight her back, does she actually goes to speak with Radovid? Because that means she dies, and I'm so happy that I didn't do that. And I'm also so happy that I invited her to Kaer Morhen, because not having her there would mean that Lambert would be dead, and I would have to start over, because I wouldn't accept that. So I'm happy that I made the right decisions from the beginning, so we didn't have to do a rerun. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this was the best outcome for Keira, Lambert, and for the rest of the world, considering that there is a cure for plague now, thanks to Keira. Now with that, speaking of the world, let's move to politics.
The Third Northern War ended. The invader from the south achieved complete victory. Robbed of Radovid's tactical genius, the northern realms could not withstand Ymir's countless legions. Black banners appeared over Novigrad and all Redania. Weary of rebel raids, Emir Var-Emreis conceded, restoring Temeria as a realm in liege to the Empire. When the guerrillas laid down their arms, the Emperor shifted his forces to other fronts. Through Nilfgaard's victory, Temerians got their country back, and history once again proved a consummate trickster. Having dealt with Radovid, Emir of Var-Emreis did the same with enemies domestic. The Emperor's loyal spies named all who had conspired against him, traitors, soldiers, and aristocrats alike. Though their mutiny had only been a murky plan, the Emperor showed no mercy, as was his wont.
I mean, the politics of this game is so complicated, so hard to follow, and it seems like every choice is the wrong one. I cannot dare to say this is a good ending. I don't know if it is, but I just cannot dare to say it when the visuals are people hanged out from the skies, which is exactly what Radovid was doing, so Ymir was supposed to be the lesser evil of Radovid, but I'm not sure anymore. But yet again, I'm a witcher, I don't take parts in politics, so I'm just gonna take my win of Temeria and run with it. Because this was a full circle moment, considering that the game literally started in an inn, where the whole fight was about how Temeria's flag was put down because of the Black One's arrival, and we had to create some bit of a mess, but yet again, ta-da, now the flags are back, thanks to us. I guess our karma is neutralized. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is the best outcome from Temeria's perspective, considering that I don't think there was any other path, or like Taylor likes to say,
the silver lilies will bloom neath the rays of the great sun. So I'd say were I a poet. But I'm not. So all I'll say is there was no other fucking way.
When it comes to Ymir, I'm kinda happy that he is alive. I think I would be upset if there was an ending where he died. Like, I don't like him, but I cannot hate him because I kinda respect him as well. So between having Radovid and Ymir, I would go for Ymir in any case. And was I aware of these choices and the consequences when I was dealing with stuff? Not really, if I have to be honest. I was very straightforward. I didn't like Radovid. I got rid of Radovid. I didn't like Dijkstra because I like Vernon, so I killed Dijkstra. Did I think about the possible outcomes of this? Not really. Do I believe Dijkstra would be a good leader? I mean, it would be successful, but I think his people would be very upset about it. Then I guess he would be the rival of Ymir, and then Ymir wouldn't be able to get these lands, and Temeria would be a complete dream, which would kind of upset me because yet again, Temeria is the only one that I'm actually emotionally connected to. So I am pretty happy about whatever I can get from this ending. I mean, I don't know how it could get better than this. Maybe if Ciri was the leading power, but again, at the end of the day, the world is as is and there is no one true happy ending, so I'll just take my win and move on. Speaking of the world politics actually, let's move on to Cerys and Crate.
While the continent bled engulfed by war, Skellige bloomed under Cerys' enlightened rule. Unlike those who had come before her, the young queen did not raid foreign shores, looking instead to her people, tending to her land. The island-bound nation prospered, though its fangs of yore were dulled.
I mean, this is exactly what I was discussing in the previous point. Yes, Cerys has made the land prosper, but the fangs were dulled. Because yet again, this world is the world that we know of. Yes, Skellige is prospering inside, but now they are more vulnerable to other attacks. Is this 100% good ending? No. Is this a good ending? Yes, I mean, yes, Cerys was a very obvious choice for me, and I'm assuming for a lot of other players, because Hjalmar is so hot-tempered that I'm scared what Skellige could have become with him. Because keep in mind, Skellige's own political agenda is so confusing that it can be its own game. And everybody's so stubborn, everybody is hot-tempered, and if we add a governor as hot-tempered as them, I think would be a recipe for disaster. And our other alternative was literally Birna. I mean, correction, Birna's son, but I think we both know that it was going to be Birna governing the Skellige, not the son. Nobody cares about the poor son. I still kind of feel sad about the son, because he had to pay for his mother's sins, and I don't appreciate that. But that's how Skellige works, so that's Skellige for you. Can Cerys actually make a difference? Well, it sounds like she started to do some. At the end of the day, Cerys is from Skellige as well, and I guess we can say Ermion's dream came true, because the last time we talked, I remember Ermion was like, oh, Cerys is good, but she needs to learn to fly, like get away from the father's wings and all that whatnot. Oh well, when you take the father out of the equation, Ciri had to learn how to fly apparently. At the end of the day, I just wish best of luck to Cerys. Maybe now that the madman Lugos is gone, she has a chance.
Cerys! 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 Cerys!
That being said, let's move to Cirilla, Fiona, Ellen, Raynon. God, that was a mouthful.
Cirilla, Fiona, Ellen, Rhiannon, heir to Nilfgaard's throne, chose the life of a witcher on the path. Geralt taught her all he knew, every skill he possessed, then each set off on their own. Soon word of the ashen-haired witcheress had spread throughout the north, from the Yaruga to the mountains of Kovir.
This one is open for debate. I don't know if this is the best ending, because I don't know the other possibilities. I'm assuming one of them would be Ciri being dead, so it is definitely better than that one. But for me, this is the best ending, because as you guys know, if you were following me along, I wanted her to be Witcher. I think she was passionate for the hunt. I think she was excited anything remotely related to being a Witcher. She wanted the thrill, she wanted the freedom. I don't think she wanted to be an Empress. Like all this game, I said that like if we have this conversation, I want to know what she thinks, and we never had that kind of a conversation. But she's such a rebel free spirit that I cannot imagine her as an Empress or a character that will want to be an Empress. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very offended at the end when she says silly little Witcher to us.
What can you know about saving the world, silly? You're but a Witcher.
But I wanna believe she said it not to offend us, but to ensure Geralt will let her go. Even if it's being a silly little Witcher, I think that's what she wants. I probably think like that also because of the conversation that we had back then when Ciri was thanking everyone who helped her when she needed.
They like you here.
I like them too. I'd love to join them. Drink and race, travel from town to town. Not worry a whit about anything.
I mean, this is all to say, I'm not sure if being an Empress would bring her joy as much as being a Witcher would, because she wanted to go from town to town, drink, have fun, and basically the most fun two activities that we have with Cyrilla was borderline crime. Yeah, maybe the life without crime and organization is not exactly what she's looking for, and I don't think she owes anything more to this world. I think she just do whatever her heart pleases. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I realized that we lost the medallion of Vesemir. For good. I genuinely thought at one point we would be getting it back, so when we see Ciri as a Witcher, she would be wearing the medallion, and that did not happen, and now that I realize it, it kinda broke my heart. Let's move on to Yennefer and Geralt, because that will cheer me up.
While monarchs moved borders and populations, Geralt and Yennefer lived a calm, quiet life, far from all things political. They breakfasted well after noon, more often than not in bed, and passed the days on lazy strolls and long conversations. Boring, you say? Perhaps. But both had sought this more than anything else.
I mean, what can I say about this one other than how much it makes me happy that they finally managed to realize their dreams. Because this was Geralt's dream. After everything is over, they were going to live happily ever after and retire in a remote corner together with Yen.
So, need your advice about Yennefer.
Very well. Ask away.
The thing is, I'd like to take her somewhere once it's over. Someplace picturesque, beautiful even, where we can rest. You've been almost everywhere. Also know Yen well. Any ideas? I was thinking Spala or maybe Dolblathana.
The first roadside inn you pass. Take her there. Pay for a month in advance, carve "Do Not Disturb" into the room door, and shut it behind you.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Maybe he was afraid that Yen wouldn't like to do that, but before the other battle in Undvik, Yen also confirmed that's what she wants to do.
Listen to me. Once it's over, if we survive, I wish to leave, go far away, and I'd like you to come with me.
Where?
Wherever. To Povis, beyond the Dragon Mountains, Zerrikania even. As far as possible from politics, plots, and so-called high society.
I mean, this scene brings me so much joy because I'm like, oh my god, they're sharing a dream. Oh my god, we are so close to having this happily ever ending. Probably that's also why I cried so much when Yen was left outside the magic bubble of Avala.
Now, Geralt!
Because, like, what if something happened to Yen? Like, this is what we were working hard for. What do you mean that Yen might die? Or I might die? The idea broke me more than anything else at that point, and that's why I chose to stop the video there actually, because I cried a lot. More than I thought I would. It was pretty unexpected, but so you can understand how much I care about this couple. I will not go into the details of why I chose Yen over Triss again, because I have a video specifically dedicated for that. If you want to watch it, I will link it to the end of this video, together with the part 1 of my Witcher adventures, so for anyone who wants to start the adventure from the beginning, you can do so from the end. And with that, we came to the end of our list. I know actually there are many more endings if you consider the minor changes in the character's story, but I chose to focus on the major ones for the sake of this video, because otherwise this video would be forever, or 70 parts, which you can watch on my channel. I have a separate playlist for that. You can start from episode 1 if you haven't done so and join me in the adventure. This might be the closure to the main quest line, but don't worry, we still have a lot of adventures to come, including the 2 DLCs. What was your ending? Like, if you had played The Witcher and finished it, was your ending similar to mine, or very dramatically different? And if so, what have you done so differently? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!